Hi, I'm Hallie, and welcome to Project Str-Eng. Lots of questions surround the structures in our world, such as who made them, how they made them, and why they made them. And Project Str-Eng is our attempt to find these answers by understanding structural engineering. In this episode, we're trying to understand limit state design. But first, let's talk about history. Today's topic is LSD. And no, not that kind of LSD. We're talking about limit state design. But even though this won't make us see any pink elephants, it's no short of exciting to talk about. So how do you ensure that the structural element doesn't fail? Well, an older method called allowable stress design, ASD, says that you compare it to its actual and allowable stresses. And if the first one doesn't exceed the second, then you can take a load off, pun intended. But the reason why this is the old and more snooze-worthy method is because engineers realized it only considers elastic strength of material, and therefore limits the allowable stresses to a fraction of this limit. This method would be pretty clutch if it wasn't for this major drawback. It fails to consider the plastic stage of material. And this is where LSD comes in. The limit state design method was first introduced in USSR building regulations in 1955, and has since become the go-to method in most countries. Developed in the USSR through research led by Professor Nikolai Streletsky, his understanding of elastic plastic properties of materials resulted in the idea to permit limited plastic deformation of structures, which saved about 6 to 12% of the material cost. Streletsky discovered that when you apply loads compared upon the structure to the resistance of the material it's made of, the resistance of the materials considered for the design itself is true to the source of its strength. All of this results in the utilization of elastic, plastic, and strain hardening stages of material, which gives it a more economical and safe design overall, which in my books is a total win. So move over ASD. There's a new de facto method in town, and its name is LSD. Now it's time for the interview. So Zuar, what is limit state design?
What is it, Zuar?
What is it, man?
Zuar, come on. I've been wondering, paying you for this.
A limit state is a condition that we apply on the structure beyond which that it doesn't fulfill the criteria of the structure. And limit state design is the design method that engineers use when they're designing a structure. And this method has two parts. So there's the ultimate limit state design and the serviceability limit state design. The ultimate limit state is when we multiply the loads by a magnification factor and we multiply the resistance of the material by a reduction factor. Basically what this means is that we want to overestimate the loads and we want to underestimate the capacity of the material. Then we have serviceability limit state, which deals with the comfort of the occupants. So we want to make sure that the structure not only stands, but that it also is comfortable for the people who use it, like a bridge or a building. We want to make sure that there's not too much vibration and not too much deformation in the structure. The main issue with limit state design is that there is randomness in everything that we do. There's randomness in the materials and how it operates, and there's randomness in the loads as well. And that's what limit state design tries to minimize. A good example of limit state design is the game of darts. And that's why darts is a good example of limit state design. The shakiness in my hand, the angle that I throw it at, and the amount of power I use, plus the way the dart goes through the wind, all has an effect on where the dart ends up on the board. That's a good example of limit state right there.
I have performance anxiety. How do we use limit state design in our everyday life?
So it could be something as simple as an appointment. So imagine if I have an appointment at, say, the doctor. Under normal conditions, it takes maybe 20 minutes to get to the doctor's appointment under normal traffic conditions. Well, let's say that one day I really have to get there on time. So what I'll do is I'll overestimate the amount of traffic, but underestimate my speed, so I can basically guarantee that I get there on time.
Mm-hmm. So basically, a limit state is a condition of a structure, beyond which it no longer fulfills the relevant design criteria. The condition may refer to a degree of loading or other actions on the structure, while the criteria refers to structural integrity, fitness for use, durability, or other design requirements. Limit state design requires the structure to satisfy two principal criteria: the ultimate limit state, ULS, and the serviceability limit state, SLS. A structure is deemed to satisfy the ultimate limit state criterion if all factored bending, shear, and tensile or compressive stresses are below the factored resistances calculated for the section under consideration. to satisfy the serviceability limit state criterion. A structure must remain functional for its intended use, subject to routine everyday loading, and as such, the structure must not cause occupant discomfort under routine conditions. Does your brain feel bigger after this? I know mine does. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button on your way out, and as always, enjoy the process.
Oh, so close. That's right. Oh,
No,
come on, man. You can do better than that.
I'm trying the hardest, bro.